Hey everyone, welcome back to the Health Insurance Insights Network. I'm Donna, and today we're talking about something that so many people think they've mastered until they receive a bill, a denial on an authorization, or a surprise change proves otherwise. Today's topic is you think you know your insurance. Because honestly, most people only understand the surface. Um, they only know their copay, they know their deductible, and maybe, just maybe, they know their plan type, but that barely scratches the surface of how your coverage actually works. And listen, this isn't about making anybody feel bad, it's about making sure you don't leave money on the table and don't fall for misinformation and don't get blindsided by rules and regulations that were written long before any of us ever became a member. Now, let's break it down. We're going to discuss, let's see, the illusion of understanding. All right. So, you think you know your insurance until you use it. Most people just really don't realize that what looks simple on your card, the little $25, $40, sometimes it's $0. It often has pages of rules behind it and when to use it. And honestly, if you're someone who is managing a chronic condition, that $25 and $40 adds up quickly. Um, your copay does not apply to everything. That's something you need to know. Some services you have fall under your coinsurance instead. And to be honest with you all, many of your services apply to your deductible first. And that does vary by plan, but most often than not, your deductible applies before your coinsurance, and in some cases before your copay. So read the fine print. Preventative care or preventive care is free only when it is coded correctly and only when it is done at certain intervals. Um, for example, mammograms once a year, every year and a day. It has to be a year and a day. Don't ask me why. It just has to be a year and a day. Um, Doctor's offices for your annual wellness visit. So if you go to your annual wellness visit and you address complaints, and let's say your doctor prescribes you medication for a new complaint, then your annual wellness visit may not be coded as an annual wellness visit. That's something that you should check on because it varies from facility to facility. Not all specialists are treated the same under your plan. That's something you need to know. And then your insurance card. Let's just say that that little card that you have, that little rectangle of a card, it just doesn't give you the full story. It's kind of like a movie trailer. It's just a little bit, but it definitely is not everything. And since we're talking about that little card, make sure you take it to every appointment. And if you have any changes, meaning your insurance changed, you have a new card, reach out and let the offices know. Let those facilities know that your insurance changed. Please don't show up on the day of a visit and say, oh, yeah, my insurance changed, because depending upon the service, you may be turned around because your new plan may require an authorization that your old plan didn't. All right, let's talk about the rules that live in the fine print. How about that? Um, let's be honest. I'm going to be honest. I want you to be honest, and more so with yourself than me. No one is reading that 80-page booklet. Half of you all are not even reading your summary of benefits. Let's be honest. Um, but the truth is, that's where all the power is. That's anything you need to know is in the fine print. I know you don't want to read it. I know that it is not the most interesting topic, but the truth is, it's a very important topic because you really do think you know your insurance until your MRI costs $1,400 because the imaging center that you chose to use wasn't preferred. And guess what? They didn't tell you. They're not going to tell you that they're not the preferred imaging center. They're going to say, oh, yeah, we got your authorization approved and it cost $1,400. That's what they're going to tell you. And you're going to say, okay, because you don't know the difference. So, again, you think you know your insurance until you receive a medication and find out, hey, I've been taking this medication for 2, 3 years now, and it never required an auth, and all of a sudden it requires an auth. But guess what? You didn't read the fine print, so you didn't realize during open enrollment that your plan had changed your formulary and that that medication now requires an auth. That's why it's very, very important to read the fine print. Um, Other ways that, or other reasons you think you know your insurance until your child turns 26, um, and they cut them off at the beginning of the month instead of the end of the month or the end of the birth month. I had a child that turned 26 this year. Fortunately for me, I already have been anticipating him turning 26 for a very, very long time. So I knew in January to call and confirm whether they were going to cancel his plan at the beginning of the month on his birthday or the end of the month. And I do feel that most plans cancel it at the end of the month, but you definitely want to check because if you don't read the fine print, you may not know that they cancel it at the beginning of the month, but it should be the end of the month. Um, you think you know your insurance until your job changes carriers. Um, this happened to me about 2 years ago. The company that I work for, I mean, insurance, amazing, easy, like Sunday morning. And then 2 years ago, everything changed. And I mean, we have a whole new carrier, all new policies, very, very different. You know, your GLP-1 required an authorization now. They have a tier, they have a specific one they want you to use. So yeah, things change. Um, you think you know your insurance, guys, until open enrollment comes, and then half of your benefits have shifted. this, I mean, I feel like this happens so often because insurance changes every single year, at least. And it doesn't matter whether you click that button to keep the same insurance or to change it, it changes regardless. So just because you say, oh, I'm going to just go with everything I had last year, they made some changes. You just don't know it yet. Your understanding has to evolve, guys, with the insurance. Let's talk about some of the things that no one talks about, just gaps in care. Let's see. Something that the industry rarely says out loud. Insurance companies, and y'all don't be mad with me. I'm not even going to say any of your names out loud. None of you carriers, so please don't come for me. But insurance companies are not built to make your life easy. They're not. They're not. They are built to manage risk. All right, I said it. I said it out loud again. Insurance companies, I did not name any of you. Please do not come for me. What that means is that you can pay your premiums faithfully and you can still owe thousands of dollars if you don't understand your plan. Um, that means that your plan may cover something, but only when you follow a specific policy. Remember, in a previous video, we talked about step therapies. These things exist because insurance companies have criteria and guidelines that you have to meet in order for them to cover services. Um, Authorizations, referrals, and step therapies, they're not personal. They're not trying to not cover your service, but they have to have policies too. Um, that's why criteria exist. I mean, guys, you know, the thing about it is when you don't know the rules, you end up frustrated, um, delayed care. You end up paying more than you should. This is why you're all leaving money on the table, not getting your preventive services done. But when you do know those rules and we discuss those things that no one talks about, you end up saving money because you're planning for it. You're avoiding the stress that's going to come when you get that bill for $2,000 for your physical therapy that you didn't realize you had a deductible to meet. You're going to make better choices. You learn how to navigate the system instead of allowing the system to navigate you. All right. Now, here's some good news. Understanding your insurance is not rocket science. It's just unfamiliar territory. And until someone breaks it down, that's me. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you understand it. Um, you just won't get it because just in all honesty, I don't see you reading 80 pages of insurance information to learn how it works. And sometimes, and I'm saying 80 pages, guys, but I'm being generous because sometimes 80 pages is 200. Sometimes it's 500. Trust, I've seen it. I know a company right now. I just reviewed a policy for someone and it was 500 pages of information. And I was thinking, there is no way he ever would have read this. He would have gone to the little board where he signs up and he would have selected the cheapest one because he did not want money to come out of his check and kept it pushing. But that's not what you want to do. So here's what I want you to know. I want you to know what your plan type is. So if you don't know anything else in that book, these are the things I want you to know. I want you to know what your plan type is. I want you to know your network rules. Who is in network? Are all your providers in network? This is very, very important, okay? I want you to know how your benefits are structured. I want you to know your preventative care schedule for yourself, for your children, for your spouse, for your parents. I want you to know this. If you take care of a sibling, I want you to know what they need to have. I want you to know your medication coverage rules. If you are on any medication, you are managing a chronic condition, call your insurance company, find out the rules, find out what is in what tier your medication is, and let's hope it's tier one, okay? But let's find out what tier it is if it requires a prior authorization. Let's find out your prior approval process. Some of your insurances will tell you you do not need you do not need to file a prior authorization. What they mean is you, the member, do not need to file a prior authorization, but your facility where you are having a service needs to file an authorization. And then I want you guys to have an out of pocket strategy. I want you to start planning for your health care. Not because you need to memorize everything, not because you need to know everything, but because your health and your money depends on it. Because trust me, no one is more interested in your outcome than you. And you are choosing to leave money on the table. You will probably hear me say that in every video. If you do not know these things, you're choosing to leave money on the table. So, if you've ever looked at a bill and thought, wait, why am I paying this? If you've ever been denied for something that you thought was covered or should have been covered, um, if you're tired of feeling confused, overwhelmed, or surprised, then stay with me. Watch the videos, ask questions in the comments, um, join my live Q&As when I host them. I have one this coming Saturday for Medicare. Follow me at Donna Lee Insights on every platform. I am on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, trying to figure this stuff out. I'm not usually a social media person. I post from time to time on my personal, so bear with me. I'm getting used to this process. Um, but follow me because I feel like you deserve to understand your insurance. And ultimately, the truth is, you don't know your insurance until you do. And once you do, you'll never go back to guessing again. All right, so I'm not going to hold you, but if this resonates with you, I do want you to hit subscribe, share this with someone else who needs it, and come back tomorrow because I am going to break down another piece of this puzzle. Remember, it is your health, your insurance, and your power. I am rooting for you. Have a good one.